Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, breaking news. Second batch of Biden classified documents found at another location. White House faces even more questions after Karine Jean-Pierre refused to say if there was an investigation into other stashes of sensitive files. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, here on the BuzWeaver channel, we take the difficult, we take the complicated, we take the tumult, we take the confusion, and we break it down. And we also do comparative analysis. So I know you guys are very shrewd, very clever, very aware, very cognizant. So you will see the difference between the wordings from when we used to cover President Trump's investigation to now, as it has now turned to Joe Biden. And I'll comment further on all that in just a moment. Aides to President Biden had discovered a second trove of classified documents in a different location from the last set. A person familiar told NBC News, not someone who knows the information or someone who has seen the information, but someone who's just simply familiar with it. The classification level, number, and exact location of the documents remain unclear. Really, they didn't seem very unclear when it was President Trump. The sources said that since the first discoveries of classified materials in November, Biden aides have been searching for additional secret documents that need to be returned to the National Archives. So he had secret documents. He had maybe potential classified documents. And this is back in November. Remember what happened back in November? It was a midterm election. So this wasn't brought up. This wasn't talked about. What a coincidence. On Wednesday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was asked whether Biden had looked into whether he might have possibly taken other documents to any other office he has or his home in Wilmington or Rehoboth, Delaware. Oh, really? Well, how passive, how nonchalant. Oh, well, he might have taken them there. It's possible. But when it was President Trump, remember, this was a catastrophe. This was a natural disaster. This was tyranny. This was just a disgraceful display by Trump to our country, to our nation, not showing the respect needed for the documents that he had and misuse of these documents. It was horrible. What a horrible person Orange Man Bad is. She refused to provide an answer. Oh, well, no problem. It's quite all right. She doesn't have to provide one. I'm just not going to speak to this. I'm going to let the process continue. It's an ongoing process. And so I'm just not going to speak to this from here. It is more prudent and more appropriate for my colleagues at the White House Counsel. Of course, I mean, why should she have to answer for the president when she's only the White House press secretary who's supposed to answer these things? Imagine if the same thing was being directed at President Trump, as we have seen. It's absolutely stunning. And here, a perfect example, CNN Politics. There are clear distinctions between the two classified document cases involving President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. Joe Biden, under 12 total. Some top secret. Cooperating. Lawyers found lawyers found and altered archives. So it's just Joe Biden. It's just Uncle Joe. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, 160 secret, 60 top secret. Under investigation for obstruction. FBI search after ignored subpoena. So, ladies and gentlemen, perfect example of comparison and contrast between two different political figures when it's presented to you by the establishment uniparty and the mainstream media. Biden says he was surprised to learn government records, including classified documents, were taken to his private office. So, it's completely unrelated to Biden. They're trying to disassociate this with Biden while trying to associate the most negative things towards Trump. So it's a very simple comparison to see how the establishment uniparty works with the mainstream media to present a narrative that they want. President Joe Biden said Tuesday that he did not know that government records from his time as vice president, which included some classified documents, had been taken to his private office after he had left public service. I was surprised to learn there were any government records that were taken there to that office, Biden said in response to a reporter's question at a news conference in Mexico City, where he was attending a trilateral summit with the leaders of Mexico and Canada. Oh, that's very important. Trilateral. Biden emphasized that he does not know what what is in the documents that were found at the Washington, D.C. office that he used when he was an honorary professor at the University of Pennsylvania. I like how they dress all this up to make him look so good, as though he didn't know. Remember, when it came to President Trump was like, he knew exactly where everything was. He knew exactly what was in the documents. He had people going through it. He knew exactly what all the documents were. As a matter of fact, the FBI told him where to put the documents, which is interesting, although he may not have known either. I mean, how can anyone remember all that information? These individuals being as busy as they are, see, they give the benefit of the doubt to Joe Biden, right? These are individual people with very important jobs that have a lot of things going on with them all day long, as though with Joe it's okay because he's not going to remember. But with Biden or with Trump, oh, he's supposed to know everything. CNN reported earlier that day that Biden and his White House legal team did not know what's precisely contained in the classified documents because they did not review them, according to two sources familiar with the matter. Now, here's the thing. They were concerned about who was reviewing the classified documents when it came to President Trump. So when it comes to Joe Biden, it's like, well, we've not looked at the classified documents as to suggest that nothing had been breached, right? To show that there was no sense of, tyranny or secrecy or other things that were going on behind the scenes, as though this was some sort of, effort to sell the information to someone else, as though they were trying to imply that even Trump was trying to use these documents for nefarious purposes. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, you already know the deal. You guys already know the drill, how we've covered all this. And I will say and repeat again that no sitting president or former president or vice president has ever been indicted in the United States. So we're seeing a little bit of political wrangling, and this may have benefits for Trump later down the road, particularly since they were trying to use his documents to prevent him from being able to run for president. So now there's not going to be a lot of leverage by Democrats to be able to say that President Trump would not be qualified to run when they have now discovered this for Joe Biden. Now, overall, I don't think that this has anything to do with any of the kitchen table issues that people in America really want to know about. Gas prices, retail prices, grocery prices, providing for their families, looking at their 401ks or IRAs, interest rates going up. These are the things that people are really most concerned about. But in the political arena, we can already see the cards lining up. So thankfully, the GOP did take the House, and they removed certain individuals from their positions like Ilhan Omar and Schiff. They removed all these individuals from their particular investigative parties and branches. So they removed them from there. So things are moving in a very interesting way. So typically, the Republicans are very timid about doing these sorts of things, but it would appear that they are trying to make some more aggressive moves, I guess it would say, in comparison to how they have been treated, the way President Trump has been treated, and now things are turning on Joe Biden to an extent. But I can assure you that just like with CNN, they will do everything they can to run interference for Joe Biden. They will do everything to protect him because it's all part of the establishment uniparty. So I want to thank all you guys for your continued support as we move into 2023. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. Your support is always appreciated. Appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon for you guys to click on to subscribe, as well as to select notifications if you want to know when there's content uploaded immediately. And I will see you guys in the next video.